Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Beyond Reality. I'm SOLRETA Antaria for Beyond Mystic 003. And oh my gosh, this has been a doozy of a week, meaning that we're starting to go, or we're in the shadow period of Mercury retrograde. So we're going to be talking about that, what you can do to kind of like lessen the issues with Mercury. And we're going to be talking about some of the experiences I've had since the weekend to do with Mercury retrograde. Some really comical, some funny. But before we get into that, I just want to remind you guys to please like, share, and subscribe over on at Beyond Mystic. And we also love it when you guys are watching, when you hit that like button and you leave some comments as well. And also really good to share and spread the love with your friends, and share over on Rumble too, because we are building a stronger community over on Rumble. And JC and the girls are doing a wonderful job to get all of the shows out there. I've really been enjoying a lot of the shows on remote viewing and on the moon at the moment. They've been some of my favorites. And I just want to remind you guys that I do have a few sessions leading up till Christmas that I'm going to be opening just to get a few little ones in right before the end of the new year so that we can really utilize this Sagittarius new moon that we're about to have, which I've written a note, it is on the 13th of December. So right when the Mercury retrograde starts. So this is a wonderful time for reassessing energies, especially before catapulting into next year. So this would be the perfect new moon to really look at new direction and things like that under. So if you're really looking into asking one-on-one questions, I would say go for the mystical oracle reading. Although with the starseed reading, we can look into origins and your mission, but we can also have a few questions pop into that as well. So yeah, I look forward to seeing you guys in some sessions. So let's jump back into today's show. And I'm going to start with talking a little bit about some protection things that you guys can do in regards to just making sure that you're, I guess, using what we can in our toolkit to protect and guide us through this Mercury retrograde season. And I know it's interesting because we can say that, we can stay separate, we can, not really play into it. But sometimes you will have, when you're sensitive, especially, the energies can influence. So just over the weekend, I had a lovely little visit from some giant cockatoos in the pine trees at my place, eating pine cones over the top of my car. So I had them actually drop some pine cones, one totally shattering the back windscreen or the back window of my car, and found a pine cone inside the car. And I also found pine cones half eaten around it. I didn't even know they ate pine cones. Funny, because pine cones being the symbol for pineal gland. And yeah, cockatoos are very special over here in Australia. And we have a visit from the magpies. They're just outside my window. If they come and join us, I'll show you guys. But yeah, I also had the cockatoos smash the front window, the windscreen of my car as well. So yeah, not enjoying the Mercury retrograde season so much so far. Hopefully you guys are doing a little better. Let me know in the comments below if this has impacted you in any way, shape, or form. I tend to get things out the way early. So when it actually comes time for Mercury retrograde and I'm doing my readings and things, it's like I'm holding space for others that are going through it. So yeah. But yeah, all we can do is like laugh at the situation. With me, I did a meditation that day, visualizing bringing in my new car. And then when that happened, I'm like, okay, this is a symbol and a sign. Another thing that happened was huge visions around the mountains and sacred sites. And I saw them humming and singing and rumbling. And Spirit told me just to feel down on my belly. This is where I was laying in bed on the weekend, on a morning. And yeah, I felt down on my belly, and this black onyx stone had totally fallen out of my ring. Interesting, the black onyx is a stone that we can use to protect and give like a little bit of extra psychic insight and protection in a Mercury retrograde period. So yeah, I saw that as a sign to really pay attention to that vision. What I saw was, it was like the fulfilling of prophecy to do with mountains and different sacred sites coming back into alignment. So I really see it's to do with this vibrational shift and upgrade. Other crystal I wanted to mention is apophyllite. So with apophyllite, and this is a double tip one, we usually will see sort of like a separate band partway through. So this sort of is symbolic of like the lower level planes and then the upper spiritual dimensions. So this is a really great one to make sure that we're getting clear communication, because remembering Mercury retrograde is about talking and speaking. And so you'll find us girls tend to stumble over our words a little bit when it comes into Mercury retrograde season or the shadow period. But yeah, apophyllite is a great one for connecting to higher realms, receiving messages and protection. It also really is connected to not only crown chakra, but heart chakra space. And whilst we're navigating through this period of Mercury retrograde, really important to get as much meditation in as you can, especially coming into this space of the heart, to get out of the mind, to get out of thinking loops, overcomplicating things. And we will also see with this beautiful Sagittarius moon too, it's going to be time for new beginnings, for parties, for having fun, for really kind of setting up the energy going forward and catapulting us into the next year as well. So I also wanted to talk about mint. So this is from my little veggie patch outside. It really wanted to come inside while I was watering the garden this afternoon. And yeah, mint is not only a great one to do with abundance, it's a great one to have in the home in terms of protection. So I really feel the overriding message for Spirit this week, and we had lemon myrtle. Also wanted to come to the party. So this is a very Australian essential oil. If you guys are overseas and you want to smell the essence of Australia, lemon myrtle is one of those things that brings me back home. So it's one I often take with me when I'm traveling overseas and I'm really just wanting to experience or bring back, feelings of home. Really great one for energy protection, making sure that we keep clear, clean, positive energy. It's a really great one for uplifting, as well as it's one that'll burn sort of similar energy to lemongrass. So when I want to set up space, so I quite often will have this burning at nighttime when I'm going to sleep or when I'm doing sessions. The other thing that I had to mention as well is, really just making time to get this like brain-heart coherence happening whilst we're in Mercury retrograde. So if you can meditate and connect your breath to your mind, to your third eye, to your heart, and even your gut in some instances, this will help us to have clear, smooth sailing through this period. So let's have a look into what the cards have to say. I do feel Mercury retrograde being a big influence coming up over the next few weeks. Okay, so we've got 5 cards. I'm just going to feel it into these, and then we'll see also what we have. So what Spirit's showing me is making sure that we gather and ask for support at the moment. So if you're feeling alone, if you're feeling down or anything like this, making sure that you're speaking up, reaching out to people. Chances are a lot of other people are also maybe feeling the same way. Spirit's indicating that this is a vibrational thing that you guys might be experiencing as well. Not to mention, it could be the added effect of this Mercury retrograde coming as well. Oh, I wanted to also mention with the Sagittarius new moon, it's also going to be a time to really be inspired to feel into the meaning with your dreams and intentions that you wish to take forth into next year as well. And for me, when I look into kind of like Sagittarius as exalted energy, I always see it as, instead of like shooting arrows out in multiple directions and getting distracted, I always see it as bringing back this alignment to our true path, to our higher self. So perfect time for a reading if you need a little bit of help getting into that quantum jump. So just see what else Spirit is showing. Oh, the other thing Spirit is reminding me is watching out just for like little bumps or accidents, really paying attention to your intuition at the moment as well. And just like, watching out for like mysterious unforeseen circumstances. Another experience I had was getting bit by some ants in the garden yesterday. So just watching out for little like unpredictable things like that. So what's interesting is I am seeing collective energy starting to stand behind people, but then I see a layer of angels. So definitely making sure to be asking for your angels to help and your guides to help in this time as well, especially going into the Mercury retrograde will be finishing on the 1st of January. You want to make sure that we're still working with this energy up until at least 2 weeks after that. So around the 15th, we'll be coming out of the shadow period. Let's flip these over and see. All right. this makes sense why we've got angels and asking for help and guidance and things like this at the moment. The first card that we have is the Devil, followed by the Death card. We then also have the Princess of Swords, who for me, she really is kind of like about communication. We see she's in her heart space, but she's being dragged into kind of like mental energy, anxiety type things. I often see this as she's on a little chimney. It's not quite a tower moment, but we can see that she can kind of like navigate and jump off away out of danger. So this is making sure to not get pulled into anything that isn't for you. This is a little bit kind of like keeping your energy inward, which is a great way to navigate through Mercury retrograde energy. We also don't want to be starting new contracts or agreements, signing anything, being really careful with your words, or being careful to not get lured into arguments, fights, this sort of thing. We do see too with the Death card that sometimes this is, to get into this phoenix rising from the ashes. So it's to let old things fall away. We tend to find in Mercury retrograde, you will also get a blast from the past in terms of past lovers and things like this, contacting, calling you, having you on their mind. So if you are feeling any energy towards, ex-partners, things like this, it could just be that they're thinking about you. So yeah, good to put up that protection if we need in that way. We do see Two of Wands come up as well. So there's going to be a lot of kind of tug of war, push-pull energy just over probably, I would say not even just this week, but the next couple of weeks. So really it's about tapping in and centering this heart energy, working with your inner alchemy. And literally alchemy, planetary medicine kept coming up when I was choosing cards just then, but also with the crystals and with the mint and things like that. So really using alchemy, using amulets of protection, things like this to navigate through the next couple of weeks. Let's also see what we have from some clarifier cards. And I can still smell that gorgeous lemon myrtle. So beautiful. It's almost like a lemon eucalyptus-y type smell. Okay, we've got quite a few cards. We're going to flip these over. So we have 5 cards, really interesting energies. We have 6 of Swords. This is Mercury energy too. It's what I call the card of science, but it also for me represents not just like journey and travel. For me, it actually represents sort of like just seeing or sensing beyond the veil. And we have a new kind of foundation or something that's wanting to come in. What's interesting is we have the 2 and then we have the 3. So this is definitely about feeling into higher self, feeling into spirit. This message has actually been coming up a lot in collective sessions at the moment. For people to escape duality, we need to have that alignment with God, with the universe, with higher self, to help kind of raise vibration and frequency outside of being stuck in duality, or outside of being stuck in this 3D matrix world. So it really is like aligning to a higher frequency, even to other multidimensional lives. So 6 of Wands for me is a card of victory. It's Leo and Jupiter energy. It's looking at things from a growth, expansive way. It's also about leadership, celebration. And this is beautiful for this Sagittarian new moon that we're also about to have on the 13th to really kind of stepping into like party mode, celebration mode. For me, the 6 of Wands too is about multi-dimensional timelines kind of intersecting and crossing. So sometimes this is being aware of like your dreams, lucid states, things like this at the moment, messages that are trying to merge or come in from a spiritual or other quantum reality level. We then see the 4 of Disc, which is the card of power. This is Capricorn and Jupiter energy too. So this is really about like holding ground at the moment, having good foundation, having good practices, making sure that you're, eating right, that you're doing everything to really hold that stability, not getting lost in the chaos of this crazy Mercury season. What we also see is 6 of Disc. So we have 3 6 cards come up with this. Now, this is Taurus energy with Moon. It does have the influence of Venus, but it is also with the 6 of Disc known as a card of success. So I feel like Spirit's like, if we can just hold on, hold ground, do things that are grounding and balancing, as well as not too like mentally strenuous, this will really help navigate through this week. So let's have a look into my Mythos Tarot, the new deck that we've just played with. I think we started last week with this one. So we'll have a look into that. But hopefully that helps giving you guys a little bit of navigation through the heaviness of the week ahead. And I still actually am really feeling this beautiful pink amethyst. So really like, heart space energies at the moment, giving yourself love, nurturing, even maybe reach out, call a friend if you feel that a friend, and I just thought 444. So maybe it's about being that angel for a friend in need this week too. So maybe getting together with friends, just watching a movie or having conversation or chill, nothing like heavy or intense, just lightheartedness to help kind of go through this week. Let's have a look. And when you do have crazy things happen, like me with the cockatoos and the windows, all you can do is laugh at these sorts of things. Don't dwell on the things that come up too much. Don't fight into the intensity of some of these experiences. It really is best to kind of go with the flow in these kinds of situations. So let's have a look at what's coming up with this one. So we have 5 of coins, the devil, 9 of cups, page of wands, and the justice card, which I also refer to as adjustment. So for me, this is about, with the 5 of coins, it's kind of like a lot of worry energy. It's usually an inverted pentagram. And we often see it's about being or feeling cut off from spirit, or not knowing how to kind of reach out to people. So where I said before, the overall vision that Spirit gave us at the start was making sure that you call on others if you feel that you need assistance or that you need, that love, that emotional support, even just telling someone if you're having a hard time, or even calling, helplines, things like this. But what we see with this 5 of disc energy too, usually it's like the help we need is like right there, right under our nose. So even sometimes meditating will help to clear some of this mental mind and anxiety energy. We do have the devil card here. And you guys know that I like to talk about sometimes the Hebrew glyphs and things associated with it. In this particular deck, it's known as Hades. But yeah, with the devil card, the Hebrew letter associated is a yin, and it's more about like throat chakra. So really being careful what you say. There's about thyroid. So really being careful what you're using your energy up on. And I've noticed with some of the sprays and things that are happening in the skies at the moment, our energy can be very depleted, very kind of like moody and things like that. Interesting that it's upping going into this astrological season. We're also really experiencing quite dark grey skies here in Melbourne. And I've heard that from my clients all over the world. There's not one place where I'm not hearing that at the moment. So 9 of cups. So with this 9 of cups energy, this is to connect as often to the spiritual realms as what you can. It's Jupiter and Piscean energy. So it is like when you're feeling like introverted and that, go within on an emotional level to really get that spiritual nourishment is going to help you navigate and get through this week. We have Page of Wands too. So Page of Wands sometimes for me is about reinventing yourself. It's making kind of like a spiritual movement forward, and it's Leo energy. So really thinking about who you want to be going into next year, maybe making a little bit of movement around that, whether it's, getting pre-organized with New Year's resolutions and starting now, whether it's like gym or different things of this sort of nature, whether it's even establishing a new practice, because we did have that before, and establishing a new mindset. And we have the card of justice. And for me, this is also adjustment, and it's usually like more of a Libra energy, having balance. For me, it also at this particular window of time, this epoch that we're in over the last few years, it's holding the veil open whilst we go from 3rd into 4th and 5th and higher realms. So really, really important at the moment to make sure that you have like stability, have like that regular practice, really noticing what feels in vibrational alignment, moving yourself away from anything that feels chaotic, mentally crazy, draining of your time and energy, making sure that you're doing things that nourish and support your gorgeous heart. So let's have a quick look back into some of the little windows that I want to show you. And we will also finish with some of the Star Card Oracle deck as well. So I just wanted to mention, we also have, this was launched on November 23rd. So we have Meg and Julie doing the 2024 predictions for all the zodiac sign. I looked into my Leo sun, Libra moon, and Gemini rising. I also checked out my Venus and Cancer sign as well. All 4 were incredible. And when I look at what my thoughts and what I've been looking into in regards to what I'm planning for next year, all of this was spot on and just showed me how much in alignment my plans are for next year. So yeah, the girls blew me away, as they usually do. They're amazing. So make sure to sign up for the Insider Access Pass or the pay-per-view. I think it was $3.99. I think you might need to double check, but that's what you can see when you go on to beyondmystic.net. And I also just wanted to remind you guys to please like, share, and subscribe over on Beyond Mystic. So we're around the 85,000 subscriber mark and over 709 videos. JC and all of us girls have been very, very busy. And I just want to remind you guys, 10% off your next reading when you use the discount code on Maison Jupiter, just using Beyond Mystic in all caps to get your 10% off. And let's jump back and finish with an oracle card. And I just saw 2020, a little bit longer than some of my other videos, but I feel that we needed it today with all this Mercury energy. And I'm also hearing a lot of high pitches in client sessions and things today. So remember to call on your galactic and your star families. The Pleiadians are around a lot at the moment, wanting to lean in and help and assist and to bring messages, clarity, and wisdom to help get us through this time. So I have Star Keeper, I have Wait, and Star Bathing. So Cosmic Ancestor, seed the light by staying grounded. So definitely one that is in alignment with the rest of the message that we were talking about. And we also have, it's not yet time, things are being woven. So remembering what we said specifically around contracts, agreements, things like this, just to kind of poise and wait for better timing after the 1st of January. And we have Star Bathing, light body, crystal grid, transmission, activation. So really making time for meditation, working with crystals and things at the moment, anything that you can use to assist your vibration, maintaining that high level frequency, letting go of anything else that's dragging you down or under, and really kind of being your own boss is the words that I'm hearing Spirit say in regards to making sure that you're looked after, that you're taken care of. So thank you so much for watching. I love you all very much. And I really appreciate your beautiful comments and messages and feedback. And I will see you next week. Bye. And take care during this crazy season.